Hi lovely stitchers, I hope you're all well. So as you can see, I'm still surrounded by stuff. So a couple of days time we are off to Harrogate to the Knit and Stitch. So if you're going and you haven't got your tickets yet, please use our code Moonlight Stitches, all one word, all uppercase, and you'll get a little bit off your tickets. If you just enter it at checkout, it'll discount it there. So I'm looking forward to Knit and Stitch. I think we're going on Wednesday. I don't know. I've lost all track of time. Yeah, so yeah, we're going on Wednesday, and we're in Hall A or Hall 1, and we are stand number TG400. Come and say hello to us. Come and show me anything that you've made, if it's portable enough, obviously. Don't cart something huge. I do love to see it. We're taking all our kits, all the sheepies. I've even managed to do some little starter kits for the fabric books. You'll be glad to know. People were asking and asking and asking, and I just said I don't know really how I'm going to do it, but I've just done like a little starter bundle. So they'll be available only at Knit and Stitch. We'll see how they go after that. Okay, so this week we're doing Appliqué, and I've just done a little couple of patches with my stitch invisible. You might want to do it so you can't see it, but I love this Appliqué. Really, any kind of patching, I love it. So enjoy, and don't forget, if you're new here and you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up anyway. And if you've got anything to pop in the comments, please do. Lots of you have met me at the shows and keep saying that you've met me at the shows, which is so exciting. I love it. So happy stitching and enjoy.
All right then, so what we're going to do this time is an applique patch. So these are commercially, you can buy these. So an applique patch, you can buy these commercially as little patches that have slogans on, or all sorts of things that are just press on an iron with an iron, hot iron. If you wish, you can make your own. I'm going to just make some of my own with little scraps of fabric that I've got. You, like I say, it can be anything, but a lighter weight fabric is always easier to work with. So I've got my backing fabric, and I'm going to imagine I've got a big hole, as always. I've just got my chenille number 24 needle, and I've got some hand-dyed silk thread, and I'm just going to take myself a little bit and thread it on my needle first, so we can get that going. Try not to get too long a thread. Just move my scissors out, the big scissors out of the way. If I had a particularly kinky or curly silk thread, I wouldn't use wax on it, by the way. I'd just dampen it with some water. You don't want to be using wax on a silk thread. Okay, so I'll just pop a knot in the end of that. So, imaginary patch needed. Imaginary hole and a patch is needed. So I've just cut myself some bits of cotton fabric, printed cotton. I'm just finger pressing. Well, in this case, I'm using a little bone tool, or turning tool, just to make life easier. You can get the iron out, of course. I'm going down every corner, every edge, and putting on a 1/4 inch seam, 1/2 centimetre seam, turn over. and I'm going to just pin it to my cloth, and I am literally just tucking in these edges. I'm not going to worry about whether or not they've got too much thickness or not. I'm just going to pin it on. You can use Bonder Web if you like. Again, personal choice, not for me on this particular occasion. Although I do use it. You've seen me use it if you've been here a while. This is coming out a little bit, look. Just let's get focused. Can you see? Just coming out a little tiny bit. When I go round, I'll tuck that under. When I go round with my stitches. Same at this end. It might do the same. But I'll just tuck it under. You can work with the pins in, which I will do, or you can do yourself a little tailor's tack, not tailor, a bit of running stitch tacking. It's up to you. Now, I'm using a darker thread, so my thread will be visible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give myself a little bit of a head start. I'm going to come in. Let's see if you can see me. Underneath my patch. And I want to take a little stitch and come up somewhere there. That's fine. Okay, and I'm just going to pull, and I've got my knot, and I'm just going to tuck that under so you can't see it. So what I want to do now is I want to attach this fabric to that fabric, and I just want to take a little tiny nibble of the edge of the fabric. Okay, and pull it all the way through. I'm just tucking in any edges and bits of fluffy edge that I don't want. You can leave this as a raw edge. I'm doing what they call a needle, well, I'm not needle turning, but it's a needle turner PK. So, oh, sorry, I hope I didn't go off screen then. I want to then go back into my base fabric, take a stitch. I'm not going very far. Don't want it too gappy. So I'm going about a millimetre, a couple of millimetres, and making a stitch. But I do want to be making one fluid movement at some point, so I'll just show you again. So I'm going to come up again into my patch fabric. Oh gosh, right. I'm hoping I didn't go off screen too much. Let's go back down. So I'm going to take a little bite of fabric, the backing fabric of about 2 millimeters. I don't know what 2 millimeters is in inches, and then I want to come up into my patch fabric, and I want to try and do that all in one motion. Okay, do you see that little? So I'm going to go back down into the fabric a little bite and up. And I want to try and keep my stitches quite close together and quite even. If I feel like my stitches are too far apart, I'll just go round again. I can take that off. But they should be fine. Now I've come to this bit where I've got this bit sticking out, and I'm just going to tuck it in with my needle. There we go. take a stitch up through my fabric. So you are going down, just tuck that in. You want it keeps coming back out. Just use your point of your needle to gently nudge it back in, and it's popping back out again. There we go. Got it. Hold it down firmly, otherwise it'll want to come back out again. Okay. Same again. And I'm going through 2 creases, but you can't see. There. I'm going to turn the corner, and I'm going to go all the way along. This edge, doing exactly the same. Take a little bite of the fabric at the back, little bite of the fabric on the edge. And as I say, I'm using a darker thread so we can see, but I like that as well. If I wanted to do something where I can't see it at all, obviously you match your thread up. So I'm going to go all the way around. Making sure that you are getting both fabrics, the backing and the patch. I'm getting quite tangled up here. I think my thread's a bit long. Thread's a bit long, and the cloths, my backing cloth's a little bit small, so it's getting caught up on corners. And you see, it's very annoying, especially when I'm having to keep it in a position where you can see. So I'm at a corner, and luckily none of my fabric is showing, so I can go round. Quite simple, quite easily. Into the corner, just take that pin out, turn my thread, turn the cloth I mean. There we go. Sometimes you get a bit of a loop in your cloth, so just thread, so just make sure you're not knotting it. I have got a bit of cloth showing there, and I'm just going to tuck it in a little bit. There we go. I do like appliqué. I really do like appliqué. Find it quite satisfying, and it gives quite good, nice results straight away. So I'm tucking my bit of cloth that was showing in with my needle, going down, up, around the corner. Just make sure my cloth's tucked in, look. Down and up. I'll take that one out. keep on going, and I'm going to add another patch when I've done this one, just for a little bit of contrast. But if you've used, you might have used a hexie, you could use a hexie, or you want to make sure that you can take your hexie papers out before you get to the end and they're stuck in there. Oops. There we go. Right, come near to the end. I usually start a little bit further down from the corner because it's quite bulky on the corner already, so you don't want a knot and a finishing point there as well as. So we're going to shoot through to the back. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little finishing, oops, stitch. Again, don't put knots in. Patches are, you don't want anything rubbing on this side on your skin. So I'm just doing some little tiny back stitches. There we go. That's me done. There we are. So I am going to put another patch on, and I'll just show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come up here, and I have done my pressing, finger pressing. I feel like this is a bit bigger, but I don't mind that. Just give that a little turn there. Now I'm going to have one that's one edge buttered right up to this end. So just pin that on, pin that along, and then this one's going to be a little bit longer, only a slightly bit longer. I just pin that down, but can you see I've got a cloth bit sticking out there? When I get to it, I'll tuck it in, but it's only a little bit bigger. I just used the cloth I'd got. So what I shall do is I'll start up here, put myself a knot in my thread. There we go. I'm doing exactly the same with this one as I did with the first one. Tuck in and go round. You want to stay out. So what's been happening over the last couple of weeks shows. I'm just trying to, obviously I'm doing this in advance. Well, not obviously. I shouldn't say that. I am doing this in advance of the shows, but I'm completely lost all track Let me think. I think this one I will be going, yes, we will be going to the Harrogate Knit and Stitch, and that starts this Thursday coming. And as always, you can get a discount on your tickets using my code, which is Moonlight Stitches, all one word. I don't know whether it's all uppercase. I'm sure it works either way, but you just get a little tiny bit of a discount if you've not already bought your ticket. We are in Hall A or Hall 1, and we're stand number TG400. So do come along and say hello. I do love to have a little chat if I can, if I have the time. Sometimes the shows get very, very busy, but usually there's always a spare 5 minutes to have a chat. I bought a coat pattern. Oh, back in the summer when I went to the Festival of Quilts, I bought a coat pattern, and I've been on the lookout for fabric ever since. And the reason I didn't buy fabric at the Quilt Festival, or the Festival of Quilts, is because I didn't find the coat pattern until very late on the last day we were there. I'll show it you. I won't show it you today because I've not got it to hand, but I will show you because I'll probably do the making of it here on the channel, because I will say I don't do making of items of clothing. So I could take you along for the ride, couldn't I? And you can all be shouting at me and telling me where I'm going wrong. No. Yeah, so I didn't buy any fabric then because like I say, I only spotted this last off. I'm just going to move that so it goes a bit further closer to it. Yeah, I only saw it last off and I didn't have time. But the actual model coat was done in like a heavy wool felt. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. But I want to do something a little bit more floaty. So, and then the lining, of course. And I've never made anything this complex, so goodness only knows. Even though I was a textiles teacher, we didn't make items of clothing. That's when I was a teacher. When I was at school and we did textiles, needlework it was called then, I made a nightshirt, which I loved. And you had to do all the French themes and all that because we didn't have things called like overlockers in school. And I made, what else did we made an apron. That was in the first year. Little bag for your plimsolls to go in for PE when we was in the junior school. Yeah. So items of clothing. I think I made a skirt as well. I'm trying to think. So yeah. I remember the skirt pattern and I think I've still got that skirt pattern. So right, we're going to shoot through to the back. Let's have a look. As I say, I've done my stitches so I can see them. You don't have to. I'm just going to finish off. Anyway, if you have got top tips for my journey into making my own coat, do share. Goodness only knows what it's going to be like. But I was thinking maybe I should just buy some reasonably cheap fabric and have a go first, but that's not really me. I want to make something with beautiful fabric, of course. And I did speak to the guy last week at the NEC who I bought the pattern off, and I didn't realise that he was a contestant on the sewing bee, Mark Francis. I felt dreadful, and it was only because I was with my sister, and my sister recognised him. So quite embarrassing, really. Anyway, I had a good chat with him, and discussed the fabric choices that I could make, and blah blah. And it was so lovely to chat to him. Never met such a lovely guy. Anyway, him and his partner Clive, they're usually, and if you don't know them, I think they're boys sew too. I feel like that is their tagline when they're at the shows. But they're larger than life characters, and they usually do make and takes. So have a look out for them. Anyway, that's me done today. Little patches. I love them. And usually on the sheets, the linen sheets that I bring, there's always a patch somewhere. So I hope you've enjoyed. And I do hope that you will stay along with me for the journey. And if you are, don't forget to subscribe. Totally free as always. And don't forget to give me the thumbs up and all that kind of gubbins, So happy stitching, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.